Today's project is with this solar panel on the top of the van. We got some advice that maybe we didn't need to put a solar panel on top of the van, and in keeping with our no-build van design, I kind of agree. If you have a standalone temporary solar panel that you can stick out somewhere and just run a cord in to charge up your power bank, I think that's great. I'm lazy. I didn't want to have to find sun each time, and if I can just have it charged while I drive. So far, our use for the van has been to drive a ton, which has helped keep things charged. When it's in a parking lot or something like that, if we could have the sun keep it charged, I figure why not. I may get a portable solar panel still that I can then run out and stick in the sun. They don't take up much space, and I think that's a great idea. In the meantime, I'm lazy and I'm gonna put this sucker on the roof and not have to worry about it. So the first thing we need to do is figure out where we want to mount the port. I know where the solar panel is going because it's humongous. It actually takes up most of our roof rack. That's fine. So far, we're not kayakers, so that's great. I have to pick a spot here on the roof, and I noticed right here, this is the general area, just with some measuring where I want that port to be with those wires that are gonna connect in the system. And I have these existing holes, and I reach up and I can feel the top of one of the corrugated sections of the roof. So it goes up and down. Just one more precaution, if I put it at one of the taller ones, if any water were to get past all of my other mechanisms for keeping water out, having it at the top of a high point with low points next to it is just one more protection. So I like that. So I could do it here, or I could come over and I could also do it right here. In fact, I have another one over here. So I have these three options. I've never drilled through the roof of this thing yet. When we got it, the ceiling fan was already installed. So, but we realized we don't want metal shavings anywhere, and so we're gonna do the very non-scientific thing of having Heather hold a bag under me.
We're gonna try it out. We'll see how this works.
I don't think this is how the professionals do it.
I don't think so either. Hey, there's metal shavings in there. It worked.
There's probably better ways to do that, but hey, it's done. All right, moving on.
This metal thingy that Anthony got as a birthday Christmas present one year, it picks up the metal shavings very nicely, and it just puts them right on the tab.
It's a magnet on a stick from Harbor Freight.
It's a magnet on a stick.
She doesn't know what it is.
Right.
That's fine.
It's a doohickey.
One of the benefits of buying the van used is it came with some stuff already on it, and I really appreciate the luggage rack that's already on this. It means I'm up here walking on the luggage rack and not walking on the roof of the van. Don't know that matters, it just feels better. And here we are on top, and we have a hole in the roof. Okay, we have rubber grommets. Obviously with the vibration of the van as we drive, we don't want these wires to get cut on the side of the van here. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit with this file. Next, we have some Rust-Oleum, and I'm going to spray a little Rust-Oleum on there to protect the parts of the metal that we exposed. This is our little USB fan we use inside. I have found more uses for this thing, and I'm going to use this to help dry this paint out. I have my grommet installed. This is the part that I'm putting towards the front of the van. That way, these wires here are going to be fed down in there. I've already applied some butyl tape underneath here, and I'm going to offset it a little bit so it stays on top of this ridge. And so I'm going to put a second layer of tape down on this side to kind of offset this elevation difference here. I got this kit pre-assembled from Amazon. As I've said before, I'm kind of lazy. This was the easiest possible way to get this done. Okay, I think I've got a good amount to seal up all that space, and now I'm just gonna mush it around and get it there. They sent me these teeny tiny screws. I'm gonna see if this grabs or not. I'm not super optimistic. Nope, that was worthless. I have some sheet metal screws, and I'm just going to let these do the job. Oh yeah, much better. I love how that poked out the side. Final step is this sealant. This is supposed to be the best stuff for it. It's Dicor lap sealant, self-leveling. It's gonna make all my wildest dreams come true. And this stuff, let's just say I don't have another use plan for this tube, so I think this whole tube is going right here. And we're gonna let that mass settle and cure, and we'll come back later and mount the solar panel. These are coming in from above, installed them earlier, and we put that hole with the grommet right here. And so now I'm just gonna work them over because I want them over on this wall. And so I should be able to just work them through.
Oh, I saw it.
Yep, and it's going. Okay, so we have worked that cord in behind our storage unit and have it coming out here, and this is where our power station sits. Well, no one can say that I didn't use enough sealant on that. That lap sealant just looks like a melted wedding cake. It's beautiful. This is gonna roughly be the location. I have 4 bars to mount it with, and there's a lip on the bottom of this that I can just drill holes into for my U-bolts to slot into. So the hardware store didn't have the U-bolts I wanted. Instead, I got these. These are tube straps, and they're galvanized instead of stainless steel, so that's a bummer. But I think they're gonna work. So I'm just gonna put stainless steel bolts on either side of these and use it to attach this to the frame. So hopefully that'll work out and be quick. So what are we doing here? We are installing these pipe hangers onto, and they look like this. That one I'm kind of munched, but we're installing them here to hold this down and actually have 8 points. These are a fairly thin gauge of steel, of metal, but by having 8 of them, and this is fairly lightweight, I think we're going to be fine. I've hooked up the cables in there. I've got some zip ties. When this is all, everything's connected, I'm going to go through and tighten it all up. But right now it's a struggle because it's a small space and we're trying to put screws in.
You can't see it, and
yep. Okay, that took some doing, but we have all of those pipe clamps on, and now it's time to tighten them up. I've struggled and gotten all of these tightened up. You can't quite see it there, except for we are on the last one, and it's taken 2 of us. Heather sacrificed herself on top here. And she holds the wrench on the back of the bolt, and
okay,
because there's not enough room to get under there and ratchet. We did it. We got them all in. How do you feel about that?
That is so frustrating.
We have a solar panel. We're inside the van, and I have this all hooked up, and let's see how it works. And here is our Anker Solix C1000. And I took the solar wires and I did have to terminate them. These came in the kit, these connectors here. You have to get the right plug on the right color of wire. So anyway, a little bit of sleuthing required for that. But I got those connected, and then I bought online. This is the XT60 plug, and that is what the Solix accepts for power input. And so I got an adapter I just bought, and once that was wired in, I could connect those two connectors. And here's my port, and you'll see the writing next to the port. It says that it can accept 32 volt to 60 volt at 12.5 amps, or 11 to 32 volt at 10 amps. That is the important number. So when I was selecting my solar panel, I made sure that the maximum volts stayed in those ranges. And really, that's the only number I need to know. There's all kinds of technical specifications about those solar panels, but inside the Solix, it has built-in logic that handles all that. I don't need a solar controller and all those types of things. I just let the Solix handle it, and it does. This is a picture of the sticker on the back of my solar panel, the open circuit voltage, VOC, and it's 48.9 volts. So I am within the limits. The Solix is going to handle the rest of that, and I just need to make sure I don't feed it too many volts. Right now I'm at 94%. You can see that there's an output of 708 watts. That's because I am running a small heater on this just to pull the percentage down. It wasn't 100%, so now it's output of 708 watts. I'm going to plug in the solar panel. Okay, so I plugged that in, and now you can see right here it was 4 watts, and now it's 6 watts, and it's starting to charge. So unfortunately, I'm doing this test later in the day, and the sun is slanting through the trees, and it's at a serious angle, so I'm basically in the shade. So it's still only showing 7 watts, but it is charging. I'll do a better test out in the sun another time, but it's all hooked up and running, so that's exciting.